Sean Dyche tried to play his depressing brand of football, but it was to no avail as Arsenal run out 1-0 winners against Everton at Goodison. Let's get into it. Good afternoon, my peoples, and welcome back to the counterattack. Hope you and yours are doing very, very well. It is our annual trip to Goodison, my people, and oh boy, you already know what it is. We, for some reason, despite Everton being absolutely horrendous the last 3 or 4 years, we just cannot win at Goodison. But looked at the lineups and, ooh, Arteta, a few juicy little changes I see here, my people. Aaron Ramsdale, there were rumors when we headed into the international break that he was going to get benched for David Raya, and that's exactly what has happened in this first game back from the break. David Raya, he comes in to play the starting keeper, and a few other changes here. Fabio Vieira coming in for Kai Havertz. Very, very interesting lineup. Very excited to see David Raya, honestly. He's great with his feet. He's a pretty good shot stopper. Hoping he hasn't played, obviously, in quite a few weeks, maybe a month or so. Hoping to see what he can offer us here. And honestly, today, we have to get 3 points at Goodison if we hope to challenge this year. And in the first 20 minutes, it's exactly what we expected, my people. Relentless pressure from the Arsenal. Everton, they just cannot get the ball. Dyche playing a filthy 4-5-1. You already know what it is. It's more like a 6-3 whatever with Beto just, trying to feed on scraps up top, but they just could not get the ball. The Goodison crowd was absolutely dead. They used to say that Emirates sounded like a library. Goodison today, you could hear a pin drop. It was quite embarrassing. Complete dominance from the Arsenal. I think we had something like 80% possession, something like that. And actually, Martinelli gets an early goal, but it's brought back for VAR offside. I don't know if it really was offside because it looks like Gabriel is trying to play the ball sideways. It deflects, goes forward, but apparently Nketiah was offside. I'm not sure about that. But unfortunately, if it just wasn't bad enough that the goal gets chalked off for offside, Martinelli also does his hamstring on the play and he has to come out. Hopefully that's not too serious. That's sort of how the first half just continued. It's 0-0 going into halftime. We've absolutely dominated. It really hasn't changed at all. But we failed to turn it into goals. Very, very worrying because all I was thinking was if Dyche keeps it 0-0 and it gets into the 60th, the 70th minute, and then into the 80th minute, then they nick something. I was going to lose it, my people. I mean, after 2 weeks ago against Manchester United, almost lost my head after we scored the second and third goals. If Everton get a niggly 1-0 victory here, I was going to be even more upset. But I will say one thing about the way we're playing, because now we're 5 matches into it, and you can clearly see that we sort of have new tactics this year with some of our new players. Arteta is trying to be much more pragmatic, much slower in the build-up. It's actually a little bit less exciting, but I suppose it's with the intention of gaining more control over these games, but it is a noticeable difference from last year. It was interesting. I was watching the game, and honestly, I was sitting here thinking, this is just a turgid match. It's just like trying to move through jello. You just can't really go very fast. Everton putting pretty much everyone behind the ball except for the main striker. Very, very depressing. Sitting back, no attacking impetus at all. Really? Is that this is supposed to be a Premier League club. I mean, it was depressing. But on 69 minutes, my people, Arsenal go 1-0 ahead. Everton deserved nothing from this match. And Arsenal finally go ahead through Leandro Trossard. And honestly, I was about to start slandering this man's name because once he came on in place of Martinelli, honestly, that left-hand side, it looked a little impotent. It looked a little, he was tripping over the ball. But what an absolutely amazing finish. We do some good passes of play down the right-hand side. Another goal from the right-hand side. Saka cuts it back, and Trossard hits it first time with his left foot. Kind of slices into the ball a little bit, and it goes in off the post. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Honestly, my people, there is not much to say about the rest of that match. Everton, did they even really threaten after we got our goal on 69 minutes? I'm not sure. I don't really remember anything that they did. I remember Dominic Calvert-Lewin came on and he did his usual thing of mishitting the ball. Oh boy, that guy's had a pretty rough career. But honestly, not his fault. Everton as a whole did not offer anything. They were depressing and negative, and Sean Dyche needs to take responsibility for that. A 1-0 victory for the Arsenal at Goodison. We finally broken our hoodoo, the hokum, the nonsense that goes on at Goodison Park. We take all 3 points back down to London. Absolutely fantastic. Player of the match, honestly, in this one, a little bit hard to give it to someone that really stood out because, honestly, no one really stood out because the game wasn't really built for someone to stand out. But I think with the clean sheet, with Everton not really offering anything on their very few attacks, got to give it to the defense. Saliba or White, honestly, they marshaled everything that Beto, that Doucouré, that Onana, if he even touched the ball, did in the offensive side. So really a solid, iron-tight, ironclad defensive performance. 1-0 victory for the Arsenal. I am all smiles on this Sunday, my people. Thank you for sticking with me. Please slap that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.